The madness destroying Africa. Why old people refuse to go. Something is seriously wrong in Africa. Not with the land, not with the people, but with the kind of leaders we keep recycling. How does someone enter public office and turn it into a lifetime business, a family inheritance, or even a personal cult? How does a whole continent with the youngest population in the world remain ruled by men who should be resting with their grandchildren? This is not leadership, this is obsession. And the young Africans are tired. Africa is not poor in talent. Africa is not poor in intelligence. Africa is not poor in energy. Africa is poor because power, once touched by some leaders, become an addiction. Once they test it, they refuse to let go, even when their bodies, their minds, and their ideas can no longer carry the weight of a modern nation. In many African countries today, leadership has nothing to do with the service. It has become a private investment, something to protect at all costs. Elections are treated like threats. Opposition is treated like crime. The state is treated like personal property. And the most painful part, this madness has been normalized. We have old men clinging to power, not because they still have solution, but because they are afraid of life without authority, afraid of becoming ordinary citizens, afraid of accountability, afraid of history judging them honestly. Instead of preparing the next generation, they block them. Instead of mentoring young leaders, they silence them. Instead of building strong institutions, they weaken everything so only they can stand. Recently, a video surfaced online of Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu struggling and falling during a public event in Turkey. Many people laughed, some people were angry, others felt deep embarrassment. But this is bigger than one man or one video. This is about a system that keeps pushing leaders beyond their natural limits, while millions of young, capable citizens are locked out of decision-making. This is about a country that calls itself a giant of Africa, yet keep presenting itself to the world in a way that invites pity instead of respect. Leadership is not about age, but leadership demands capability. It demands clarity. It demands strength, mental, physical, and moral. When leaders can no longer carry the responsibility, the nation starts falling the same way they do. And that is exactly what we are seeing. Across Africa, currencies are collapsing. Inflation is eating families alive. Unemployment is destroying dreams. Education systems are decaying. Healthcare is barely breathing. Yet the same faces remain in power, giving the same speeches, recycling the same excuses, and blaming everyone except themselves. They talk about patience while living in comfort. They talk about sacrifice while protecting their families. They talk about patriotism while sending their children abroad. And young people are expected to clap. Let's be honest, many African leaders do not fear failure. They fear replacement. They fear young people with ideas. They fear young people who understand technology. They fear young people who ask questions. They fear young people who are not impressed by titles, so they cling to power like it is oxygen. They change constitution. They manipulate courts. They weaponize poverty. They divide people by tribe, religion, and region, all to remain in control. This is not wisdom, this is insecurity. Africa is the youngest continent in the world. More than 60% of Africans are under 25 years. This should be our greatest strength. Instead, it has been turned into our biggest frustration. Young Africans are educated. Young Africans are creative. Young Africans are building businesses, apps, movements, and solutions with little or no support. But when it comes to leadership, doors are shut. You are too young, they say. Wait your turn, they say. Respect elders, they say. But how long should a whole generation wait while their future is being destroyed? Respect is important, but respect should not mean silence. Respect should not mean suffering. Respect should not mean accepting failure forever. Let's stop pretending this is normal. There is nothing normal about a leader ruling for decades while the country moves backward. There is nothing normal about families turning government into dynasties. There is nothing normal about a few people holding power while millions struggles to survive. This behavior would not be accepted in serious nations. It should not be accepted in Africa. Leadership should be about vision, not age, idea, not ego, service, not survivor. Young Africans are not asking for miracle. They are asking for opportunities. They are asking for fairness. They are asking for leaders who understand the world they are living in. The digital world, the global economy, the urgency of climate, jobs, and innovation. You cannot solve today's problem with yesterday's mindset. You cannot lead the future if you are stuck in the past. This is not a call for violence. This is not a call for disrespect. This is a call for sense. Old leaders should know when to step aside. They should become advisors, not obstacles. Elders should guide, not dominate. True legacy is not how long you stayed in power. True legacy is what you built and who you empowered. To young Africans watching this, your anger is valid. Your frustration is justified. Your exhaustion is understood. But do not lose hope. Change does not start in government houses. It starts in conversation like this. It starts in awareness. It starts when young people refuses to be fooled by recycled lies. Africa will move forward, not because the old guards allowed it, but because a new generation demanded it. The future belongs to those ready to build, not those desperate to hold on. And whether they like it or not, time is already on your side. Africa does not need rulers for life. Africa needs leaders for progress. The era of youth leadership must begin. Enough of embarrassment, enough excuses, enough delay. Africa's future is young and it will not await forever.